Hello, everyone. My name is Min Zhang, and welcome to my TOEFL class on note-taking strategies. Today, we are going to focus on one of the most challenging sections of the TOEFL, the listening section. The listening section can be tricky because you only hear the audio once, and you need to remember a lot of information in a short amount of time. But fear not. There are some strategies that you can use to improve your note-taking skills and increase your chances of success on the TOEFL. The first strategy we are going to talk about is previewing the questions. And before the listening passage begins, and take a few moments to preview the questions that are related to the passage. And this will help you focus on the key information that you need to listen for. Let's say one of the questions asks about the main idea of the passage. If you know this, and you can focus on listening for the central topic that the speaker is discussing. Similarly, if one of the questions asks for specific details, and you should be listening for those details as they come up in the passage. The second strategy is write down keywords and phrases. Instead of trying to write everything down and focus on keywords and phrases that summarize the main points of the lecture or conversation. And this will help you organize your notes and remember important information. The third strategy is to use headings and subheadings. If the lecture or conversation has different sections, use headings and subheadings to organize your notes. This will make it easier to review your notes later and find the information you need. Okay. And the fourth strategy is to use abbreviations and symbols when taking notes, and use abbreviations and symbols to save time and space. Make sure to use ones that make sense to you. Here are some examples of abbreviations that you can use when taking notes on the TOEFL. Okay, use a check mark to indicate that something is correct or verified, and use an X or cross to indicate that something is incorrect or false. And use a dollar sign to indicate that something is related to money or cost. Use a percent sign to indicate a percentage or proportion. And use not equal to symbol to show that two things are not same or different. And use a caret to indicate something that needs to be inserted or added. And use a tilde to indicate an approximation or estimation. For example, the number of attendees was approximately 50. And use a question mark to indicate uncertainty or to mark a question. And use an arrow to indicate cause and effect relationship. Use a star to highlight an important point or piece of information. And use brackets to group related information or to show that two pieces of information are connected. And use braces to indicate alternative options or possibilities. And use a symbol for therefore to show that one point leads logically to another. And use a symbol for approximately to indicate an estimate or a range. And use a paragraph symbol to indicate a change in topic or a new paragraph. And use an up arrow or down arrow to indicate an increase or decrease in something. And use a vertical arrow to indicate a comparison or contrast between two things. And you can also use with without water, like H2O, before, later, and more than, and less than. Well, you can create your own codes, and they are also used for reading section. Okay, the fifth strategy is listen for signal words. Signal words are words that indicate a change or transition in the listening passage. Examples of signal words include however, therefore, nevertheless, and on the other hand. When you hear a signal words, and it's a good idea to pause and make a note of the change in direction or focus. For example, if the speaker starts off by discussing the benefits of exercise, but then uses the signal words, however, to indicate a shift in perspective, you know that the speaker is going to introduce some counter-arguments or limitations to their previous point. Lastly, after you finish listening to each section of the passage, and take a moment to summarize the main idea and supporting details in your own words. And this will help you remember the information later on. And by summarizing each section, and you will have a better understanding of the overall theme of the passage. Okay, when taking notes, and don't worry about spelling or grammar. Focus on capturing the main points and ideas. You can always go back and clean up your notes later if you have time. Okay? Congratulations, everyone. You've completed our TOEFL listening note-taking strategies. And I hope you've found this class helpful in developing your note-taking skills and improving your listening comprehension abilities. Remember, note-taking is an important skill for TOEFL listening section, and with the right techniques and practice, you can improve your scores. And don't be afraid to experiment with different note-taking styles and find what works best for you. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.